It's game
time. By the way, this from Mike Polk. He says, tell Mikey that his beard makes him look like the TMZ mugshot of a grown-up child celebrity who has hit rock bottom. That's good.
Yeah, he nailed it.
That's good.
He nailed it. Hey, Earl, mark it for a social clip. I want to save that.
Hey, rock bottom. Like,
all right, guys, speaking of rock bottom, you could say in Darius's NBA career, last year was the proverbial rock bottom. This year he has climbed back out of it playing as well as playing. He was recently named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And I know it's only 12 games in, but right now, Tyvis, that's your guy. Is he the best point guard in the Eastern Conference?
Is he the best point guard in the Eastern Conference? I tell you what,
right now.
The way he's playing at an unbelievable level. However, there is still, I think it's only about maybe off the top of my head 2 that I would consider taking over Darius right now that I think's playing at a decent level. And that is Trae Young and LaMelo Ball. I think those 2 are playing pretty well right now. But Darius, I mean, he's in the argument for me. Like, if somebody said they wanted to take Darius as the best, of course I'm not going to fight that. I mean, Darius is having some unbelievable moments. He's swinging the ball. He's finishing at the rim again. So, listen, I always said Darius reminded me of a watered down. Maybe not watered down. Let me see.
That's a strong word.
Let me see. He is like a tier. He like 2 tiers under a Kyrie Irving.
2 tiers.
About 2 tiers.
Damn. That's wild.
What?
2 tiers is a lot.
It's not a lot.
2 tiers is like the difference.
He got some Kyrie Irving.
He
ain't quite Kyrie. He ain't quite Kyrie.
It's a big difference.
But he do some things that reminds me of Kyrie. How about that?
2 tiers is still like, I
mean, 1 tier.
Okay, I'll take 1.
1 tier, there.
I go 1 tier on that.
He's not no one as dynamic as him dribbling the basketball.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
As great as Darius is playing, in my opinion, no. He's not the best point guard in the league right now. It's either SG.
No, it's in the East.
Oh, in the East.
In the East. Just the Eastern.
That's why I said Trae Young and LaMelo Ball.
That's right, because I was about to say SGA, Kyrie, and Steph Curry.
It's not a question.
You got Brunson.
In the East?
Drew
Holiday. He's playing better than anybody. I was looking at the player efficiency ratings.
Good stat. I like PER.
And he's number 4 amongst point guards in the NBA behind SGA, Curry, and Kyrie. So
right now,
I'm going to go with him right now, this moment in time.
Right now in the East, yeah. He already played against Brunson. They beat them.
Now, Brunson's been a better player, obviously, but right now.
I get it. I mean, look
right
at
now,
his splits. His splits, he's shooting a higher percentage from 3 and field goal, same amount of assists. You know, Brunson gets maybe 1 more rebound in the game, but
he's scoring a little more.
Hey, but guess what? We undefeated. That's
right.
So
what's the minutes? Brunson probably playing more, right? More minutes.
He's playing more minutes than Darius. Probably.
Brunson's playing 35 minutes a game. If you're going off numbers,
if
you want numbers, Steve, pull up the LaMelo Ball DG comparison. It's 3-4-3. If you're going just numbers this year, LaMelo Ball probably is the answer.
What's LaMelo? What's their record?
Not good, which is why numbers don't matter.
Well, they matter, but they're not the only thing that matters.
Darius is playing at a higher. Well, LaMelo's having a great season. I still think Darius is better than LaMelo. But if you're going off just the numbers, like G was saying down the line, LaMelo's the answer,
if you go, Jalen Brunson's stats are better too. I mean,
come on, man.
But I right now, Darius' play is leading to win.
Trae Young got to be averaging like 20.
341, Steve. 341.
He got to be averaging like 20 and 9.
We made these comparisons for all the good point guards in the East. So we got 341 when you're ready. No, he's only averaging 23 and a half. He's having his worst shooting year ever, Ty. Look at those shooting splits.
He averaging a double-double, though.
Bro. Shooting splits, though.
He averaging a double-double, I'll tell you that.
He got the same beard Mikey got, and he's shooting way less.
I would never shoot like that, trust me.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this, man. No, he's this is not even close, really. Like, he's playing the best basketball. Like, LaMelo is a person that he's the most likely in his yearbook to never win a championship.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, and the reason why, like, the numbers don't matter that much because if Darius was switched places with LaMelo, Darius would be scoring 29
I'm
a
not
game.
making the point for LaMelo. I was just saying if you
would take Darius, now. Yeah. If the question is he the best point guard in the East right now?
Yeah.
My answer is yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're biased.
I agree. It's not even that difficult.
Which is hard to believe because he was probably not in the top 10 in the East last year.
Here's the other part of it that we haven't got to. Darius in the clutch this season has been arguably the most clutch player in basketball. He's second in the NBA in total points in the clutch behind just Jason Tatum, who's played one more
What's
game.
defined as clutch?
The last 5 minutes of a game within 5 points.
Okay.
So it has to be fourth quarter. As soon as the game goes to 6 points, it's not clutch until it gets back into 5 points. So it's
Gotcha.
only in those legitimate clutch situations. He's shooting 79% in clutch scoring situations this year. He's second overall in scoring, and he's 6 of 10 from 3 in those situations.
What, 79%? How many shots?
He's like 8 of 13 or something like that,
Oh.
or whatever. I forget the exact. I'll pull it up in a sec.
I mean,
He's the most efficient.
So it's not enough
and
of a sample size to this point in the season.
They've played 5 games
Yeah,
that
right,
fit
right.
that category.
Yeah.
However, when he has had those opportunities, he's been as
come
good as
through.
any player in
Yeah, the guy's been
basketball.
fantastic.
Well, what gets me is that everybody seems so shocked by this. When I said this last year, I found it very hard to believe that a guy who everybody rant and raved from saying he was going to be the next star, and he went to where he was last year in the playoffs because it was terrible. Like
was trash.
there was no way that
Yeah, but-
that guy that was
Right.
up to this regard can't come back like that.
Well, but
There's
part
no
of the
way.
reason we may have thought that is because it was who he was playing with. Maybe it wasn't the right fit. Obviously, that's not the case. But even if you thought he'd bounce back, which I think we all thought he'd bounce back at least to some degree, you didn't think he played this well. I mean, he's playing at an all-star level here.
I think
I did.
Well, excuse me, Todd.
Well, listen, listen. Jason thought Andres Jimenez was going to start hitting the ball again.
Yeah, well,
that didn't happen. He can't be this bad 2 years earlier. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, he is.
By the way, he's 11 of 14 in clutch situations this year,
Yeah, that's
The
ridiculous.
scary thing about the Cavs
with
is
5 assists and only 1 turnover.
scary thing about the Cavs is, okay, they haven't all just been killing it. Donovan Mitchell for the first half of the year didn't have no
Yeah.
crazy explosions. You got
Balls.
yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Outburst, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There we go with that. Jared Allen has slumped a little bit in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
You have guys missing games like Karis LeVert and Dean Wade missed games, so they've been in and out of the lineup. But they've still found a consistent way to win these games, and they don't even have everything moving and going at the same time.
Right, and Max
now.
Strus hasn't played.
Max
who was
Strus hasn't
one of the-
played.
was one of their better players.
The good
last
news
year.
is they've won in every aspect. They've blown people out.
Yeah.
They've came back. They was down by a lot, came back and won those games.
Yeah.
They won in crunch time situations. So it's like this team faced adversity, and they found a way to overcome the adversity early on in the
Right.
season, which obviously just going to make them a better team
Yeah.
moving forward.
And they've just built confidence. Like every player on the team feels confident. And so when he goes to the whole bench lineup, those guys are like, damn right we can do this.
Do you think, and now you go back and look at it last year, when the organization said, hey, we're going to lose these games at the end of the year. Could you even imagine this team doing that? Remember last year they lost at the end
To be a lower seed. Yeah.
Could you even
No.
imagine?
No.
Like,
That's such a loser mentality.
yeah, that stuff carries over. That stuff kind of
That's right.
matters, man. And now you see to a point where it's a nice little story, and people is, oh, this is.
Yeah.
But after you start getting to 15, 16, if you get there, or if you continue to stretch that out, or if you lose a game and then you go on another 9-10 winning streak in a row,
yeah.
people going to start to wake up and look around and be like, I don't see why they couldn't win no championship.
I got a friend who texted me. He's a big basketball fan. He texted me today, and he goes, you think this is the beginning of a dynasty? I'm like, we got to slow it down a little bit. But yeah, that's how excited people are right now.
Because remember, like the Nuggets a couple of years ago, how they kind of came out of nowhere and were like, man, they're moving the basketball crazy. It's like
Yeah.
you can't really stop them like that. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where you look at the way the Cavs is playing basketball. This translates if they can make hard. See, they have to have a commitment to it so it becomes second nature. So even when you're down or you're not shooting the ball well, you still trust in I'm gonna move the ball and this system's gonna work.
100%.
So if
Yeah.
you can build those habits now, you could go to the playoffs and it's going to be a problem because the bad teams are going to revert to hero ball.
That's right.
Get the ball to so-and-so and move out the way. That don't work.
The Cavs' ball movement has been, again, 100 out of 100. They move the ball no matter who has it. It's almost irrelevant who takes the final shot. It's like, let's keep moving it until we get a good shot. How many times this year, have you seen a Cavs player take a shot and be like, it's not a good shot?
Not a lot.
Like I feel like in the past you
like
did
four
see that.
times a game, and in the past that would happen 20 times.
Yeah,
and not
I mean,
just
it's
the Cavs,
crazy.
but around the league.
But it's a good point, G. I think the key obviously is health. That's the obvious one for every team. But if this is who Evan Mobley is now, the Cavs absolutely can win a championship, right? Like if he's this guy, if this is not just an anomaly, which at this point I think it's deep enough into the season that I think we're all feel like comfortable in saying it's not. If this is who he is, then it feels like they can beat anybody.
Well, they was plus 900 to win championship yesterday. So
Hope you bet a couple bucks. Yeah, they were still. I think they're still tied for 8th in terms of
depends on
odds
the
of winning the
sports book,
championship.
but give or
3rd in the
take.
East. I don't know why they'd be behind the Knicks right now. You'd think that would have flipped. I can understand them being behind the Celtics.
It's it's betting trends. It's not how they actually feel. It's how they think people.
That's
feel.
true. Right.
Just to clean up before we pivot to Jed Wills real quick on a few stats. Bull, the Cavs currently 5th in the NBA in team assists per game, less than 2 behind Denver, who's number 1. In terms of the clutch stats, just to give you a little more context on Darius, he's tied for 3rd most field goal makes in these clutch situations.
Yeah.
The guys ahead of him, DeRozan, who has 13, Darius has 11. DeRozan's taking 24 shots.
Yeah.
Durant, who has 12, is taking 19 shots. Jokic has 12. He's taking 21 shots. Darius, 11 on 14.
Yeah.
He's 3 of 5 from 3, and his 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio is the best of any point guard in the NBA in these clutch moments.
Do the Cavs as a team have the best assist-to-turnover ratio in the league?
Let's see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, if you
in
can find
one
that.
sec.
They got it.
I'll get back to that stat. Let me,
All
let me
right,
do
you would
some-
think, right, that they have the best assist-to-turnover
Cavs
ratio?
is plus 1,900 on FanDuel.
Who is?
Cavs is plus 1,900.
Well, it's not, I mean,
to win the championship.
that's worth throwing a few dollars on. They
is.
probably were. What were they at the beginning of the season? Even way higher than that.
27-1. So
So if I throw 100 on that, what I get back?
1,900.